Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset. We're jumping on in about a minute. Throwing on my suit. Let's go. Man, here we are. Shout out to everybody here on this beautiful morning. God bless you all. We're going to jump on into BTC. Also, I teach class today in about an hour. Don't forget, from 9 a.m. to 12, I teach class. Jump on in today. You still have time. Email Crypto Lifers. All right, if you want to jump on into class, there's still time for you to get into class. Why not? I mean, I would take a class on a Saturday morning. Get it done before everyone is the saying. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate everyone who's jumping on during this holiday week. It's a light week. People don't pay much attention. Bitcoin has been kind of dismal and boring sideways, but at least holding 87,000. Let's take a look at bitty Bitcoin and see what happened. I expected at least a bounce back to the top of the channel. We just kind of went sideways for hours now. I mean, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, that's sideways for about 10 hours. And you can find out by holding shift and going sideways, right? And it'll show you, yeah, it's been no longer 20 hours of sideways price action. That's not fun. That's boring. And we had a beautiful flag that never played out there above the 200 on the 21. Things were looking up, but we made the shoulder head right shoulder, took the dump. Bounce back. Now we're sideways. What do I see for BTC? I mean, we're still inside a symmetrical triangle on the 1 hour time frame. Really, nothing has changed there. And we'll get back to this in a second. I like to delete it and see if I can even get my way back there. Right? That's how you know the TA is real. If you can recreate it over and over again, it's sitting there waiting for you to find it. Shout out to everybody here. Some reason right now, the mic says it's super fuzzy or hot. Yeah, like there's something going on with it. I see it right now too. Let me go and take a look at what's happening. Let me see if I take this. Hello? Check 1 2 1 2. Something strange. Let me reset the. Hello. Seriously. Still seems a little weird, right? Might have to restart my computer. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to bring it down. Is that better? So strange. That's better. But now is it too low? Is it perfect? Still looks like it's loud. I mean, this is so strange to me. Out of nowhere, all the settings are the same. And it's like peaking beyond belief. Yeah. You sound a bit like you have a cold or shouted yesterday all day long at the football game. It was hot. Sounds good. Yeah. Not bad. Low volume. Yeah, now it's low, right? It's strange. It's saying I'm peaking when I'm not peaking. All right, I'll take Rave Song Records. All right, thank you. All right, let's take a look here at the monthly time frame and see what's happening. It did it last night, too, during the update. Weird. I guess computers get a different impulse. They send a wave, and all of a sudden, like, because I don't change the settings at all, but like once in a while, something will be different. I mean, audio is electricity. There's electricity through the house. You're connected. There could be a surge. And when you're on all night, they're like, so could be something to think about. Like, so we still have this slight bullish divergence, right? We have the RSI pointing down while price is pointing up. When these don't agree, there's usually, a reversal or a dump, just like we had this moving up, but this kind of moving down. We had a divergence here too as well. And we ended the, so it's still there. It doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure, but it still lingers. And we have to say that it's possible. There's still a possibility here that Bitcoin could still get a move here on that monthly chart. 2-week chart, not looking amazing, but it is very oversold. It's going to close in 8 days. See where that. And then here we are with the weekly that closes tomorrow night. And it looks like it's going to close a bearish candle. I mean, that's tweezer top too, but there still is wickage. But I mean, it just, excuse me. Still far more bearish here on the weekly as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't look amazing. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look like you want it to look. And at the end of the day, we could just be making a bear flag on the weekly. Might just take like 5-6 more weeks. It could take 8 weeks. That's what people want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you'll have a bear flag. And then you'll dump. And you'll be at like 92,000. It couldn't see all this stuff. I'm open-minded that in 8 weeks we could be dumping. I'm open-minded that we could pump next week. I'm open-minded that anything can happen. That's why I watch price every day. Because if it crosses that 200 in the 4 hour and it starts going on that daily, like something will change. But until then, no. Right? Looks like a rollover over here. Hey, give your thoughts about your last night discussion with Peter. I was listening to your discussion with him, and there was a difference of opinion. Yeah, last night with Peter Schiff, it's funny. I finally got to have, I see him making his, Peter Schiff is doing his spaces last night. Yesterday in the afternoon, my wife said, I'm going to the park. Just pick up the kids in the go-kart or whatever in a second. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool. And I see Peter's on, and I just jump into the space, and I ask to speak. Luckily, the last person's finishing. He asked one more person, ask a few more questions, and he's like, who's that? Sam, jump on in. And, and when you have more followers, you get put up higher in spaces. You see what I mean? So I think people can see you. So it helps. And next thing you know, I'm in there, and it's funny. We had a long, he didn't want to let me go. We had a long, 10-minute conversation. It was awesome. Shout out to Peter Schiff. That was awesome. And, of course, I got way more followers on Twitter. It expanded our reach amazingly well. That space has got 30,000 views at one point. Maybe it got more. So, hey, when you talk a lot, the gift of gab. Hey, Sammy, always using the mouth over here. But if you talk a lot, you'll eventually talk to the right people. Think about how much Peter Schiff talks in his life. So, if you talk a lot or have to talk to a lot of people throughout your life, it's a good sign that money could be coming to you, as long as you're not blabbering, like me. So wait for Trump's announcement tomorrow afternoon. This is going to the moon. I'm here for, everyone says this stuff, but hey, you never know. Anything is possible. So we'll see. So it could be a bear flag that takes a few more weeks to position. It could make a V-shaped recovery. What I will tell you is every time I've seen price action kind of start to get tight, and we've had a fast move down in this market, price had a fast move down. We kind of had our time. Fast move back up. fast move up here, and a fast move down there. So it's just like, boom. I could just, something in my mind keeps telling me there's a big pump coming. But again, is that my hope? And I can't tell if it's my instinct, my emotions, or my hopium. So I can't truly listen to it. Or is it my psychic abilities, that are just so honed in on the future? Where they just tell me, hey, man, don't ever sell that BTC. Be smart. Funny, Peter's just telling me to sell all the Bitcoin last night. He's like, or at least sell enough that you don't care about what happens to the rest of it. Because it's going to zero. If it was zero 15 years ago, it can go to zero in 15 years. He was like, sell all your Bitcoin. Yeah, Peter Schiff told me to sell all my Bitcoin. Was he right, everybody? Was Peter Schiff right when he told me to sell? He actually didn't even tell me to sell it all. He said, sell as much as you can so that you don't care about the rest of it. So whatever happens, happens. But you're set. At least take care of yourself. Buy some real, I feel that too, bro. Peter said, sell that Bitcoin. Yeah, he did, yeah. And it's funny, but we had a good time. It was a good conversation, man. Shout out to Peter Schiff. I got to have him on the show one day. That would be even cooler, Bitcoin to retest 85,000 as bearish technicals and on-chain weakens align. Look at that. I love these. They write bearish articles to push the price down. You know what I mean? Like, think about the person writing that. I could write a bearish article right now. I could be like, Bitcoin looking to make a bear flag to dump to 57. We don't know that really, though. It's, again, I can go that way. I could say Bitcoin looking to roll over, right? We don't know for sure, but and how is that going to help Bitcoin pump? No, more people are going to short it, aren't they? Especially if you're a bigger publication. But one thing I am looking at here is even on a weekly, that's starting to kind of get into that descending triangle vibe. Even that's 75, 71,000. So it's getting dicey, right? I talk about the 5-day, and remember I kept telling you, treat the 5-day as if it's in a bear flag. That's it. 5-day just opened up a new candle. Lately, it's been tit for tat. Red for green, red for green, green, red for green, red. Do we get the green move back up, or is this the cooker that sends us down to dismals? Wouldn't be surprised if we just bounce back up and stay inside the chop. Why not keep the chop alive, right? Hey, Sammy, what was your silver price when you bought that buy? When you bought that buy silver there, kid? How much was silver when you bought that buy, dude? I was back in Bowstone. I'd say it was 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago. It must have been like $20. No more than maybe $28, Maybe it was $34. I don't know. I'd say somewhere between 28 and 34, but I can't remember, man. I could be way off too. I know I'm not higher though. Like I know it wasn't higher than that, but I could be off. Yeah. Never tell them over here. I did buy other kilos of silver though, so lower. And I bought a lot of my silver below $20. $15, $13 even. I got silver for $13 an ounce that I still own. So I do think if you were holding silver, besides physical silver, even physical might be time to cash out. My goal with it. You know what I mean? Cash out all the silver. Buy something nice with it. Buy a Rolly or something. You know what I mean? No, I'm messing. People like, no. So Bitcoin, to me, daily looks like it's in a bit of a bear flag now. Okay, you could even say this is the top trend line, and it's going to dump on us. See, like it's in a symmetrical triangle there. That could break up or down. So, tight price action for BTC. Not looking amazing. Had a few chances to break out. That candle there was looking amazing for the reversal. Even a right shoulder type. Couldn't do it. Just wasn't going to give us that. You didn't have the liquidity. Didn't have the follow through. Didn't get the love for the bulls. So here we are with BTC. And even if it breaks out of here and gets tight, it's in another bigger symmetrical. It's only like Hail Mary, full of grace here. Could it be, trying to Adam and Eve, a bit of a double bottom there. There's some type of hopium here for Bitcoin, but it does not look good. Gotta be honest. I'm looking for bullish sentiment. I'm looking for something to cling to here. And it all looks more bearish to me. This up here, up front, looks like a descender. Right there. Like that's a descending triangle right there to me. It's bearish. 4 hours, same thing. So to me, I'm looking for this to likely dump on us. Even looks like a shoulder, head, right shoulder there. Like it's just ugly. So, this looks like it's going to roll over and at least come down to 84,000. I could be wrong. That's just kind of what it looks like to me for BTC. I mean, you got CAD here slanted down. You break back above the 200, fine. But, I mean, every time we've gotten there, there's been a massive rejection. That was our chance there, the 1 hour above. That's it. Like, that's the spot. You ruin that. It's kind of like, to me, how is this not a bear? I mean, this is the same thing upside down now. You're now above the 200, touching the 21. Looks like a bear flag to me. Could start its dump today. So I'm a little more bearish on Bitcoin. I have to say, I'm sorry. I wish I was more bullish, but I'm not. Yeah. 84 gone swing. You nailed that one, Kendall. About to get a new 1 year candle. Can we look at Ethereum? Eventually we buy more Bitcoin G. It would be a gift in my humble opinion. 100%. 100%. 100%. If again, we'll see what happens. There's a chance it stays strong here. There's some strong support at 85,000, and it's on the weekly and the monthly. It's bigger time frame support. So 86,000 has been holding for a while. We'll see. Look, this looks like a bit of an Adam and Eve. These usually break to the downside, right, on the 15-minute time frame. The 1 minute, the 5, both have just lost the 200 moving average. The 1 minute's been below it. Looks like more downside is coming for Bitcoin, at least to 86.9 and lower. So, and we might even not get the fall through. It might just be sideways price action. So, yeah, I don't see much going on right now for BTC. If anything, it's a descender to the downside. Maybe we double bottom and rip. So be it. If we get above, let's say, the 15-minute 200 moving average and make a flag, I'd take a long. Until then, no. Just like that long. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to gifting 10 memberships. Big BTC Bill, you didn't have to do that, but you did. Wow, you people are nice, man. And we got that shows strong sense of community when people are doing that. And so there's our Saturday night update in the middle of the holidays. Most people are traveling out with family or friends, probably still asleep, but I just keep doing my thing. My grind takes place at home. My family sleeps early in the morning. They usually get up at 8:30, 9. So I don't miss much while I'm grinding and doing my update. Today I teach class. If you want to jump on in the last Saturday of the month, if you would like to jump on in, I would greatly appreciate it. It is 1:50. You can email cryptolifers@gmail.com to jump on into class today to find out more. Routinely, new monthly candles have a pullback of some sort, so I would not be surprised for at least some type of January. I mean, if it's a good candle, we want to see a wick to the downside, right? So we'd like to see a dump into January. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. So we'll see. So I'm more bearish on Bitcoin. No trades open today. Low volume, a tough week. They're good, and then we have a next week coming up with banks closed again, which is, when there's a lack of liquidity for even a day. The markets are already doing their thing. You have to think about that. So, yeah. Only down from here till June. Yeah. Is it time to sell silver? And that's what everyone's going to ask. You, family members, and at 79. To be honest, I mean, whenever I've seen an asset go straight up like this, it's had a nasty crash. It did it here, though. It did crash back down. So it went to 54, took a nice 10, 20% move down, right, to 45. About 9 on 54, I guess, about 18%, 6th. And now, I mean, to me, it might be a deeper pullback. Maybe it could be a nice deeper pullback like this. Over time, I see silver continuing its rally like into February and March, but definitely a pullback. I mean, that was a massive daily candle. Like one of the coolest candles I've seen on any asset in my life. Like look at it. It was just amazing. Usually we'll follow up with maybe one more punch out. But then I feel like if silver, you never know. Anything is possible. It could be the massive short squeeze of a lifetime. I don't know. But even then, everything in my life that I've ever seen on a chart comes back down when it goes up that high. And like I showed you, this is a form of bearish dip. When the RSI goes this high, even if this goes up, there's no way they intersect. Divergence is about these lines intersecting. Remember, it's not about anything else. People teach you about the angles and all this, but they never really explain it to you that it's about the lines actually. What do I mean is the trajectory of the line. This line keeps going this way. And this line keeps going that way. They're going to hit each other right here, right? So that's a divergence because these lines will divide each other on their train tracks. All right. If Q4 was the most bullish quarter and we went down, wouldn't that mean that we nosedive in Q1? Good afternoon, Sam. So much from cold London, 7 Celsius. Spent the last week with lots of family, which has been amazing. Hope you had a great Christmas. God bless you, Felix. Thank you. What about Zcash? It pumped 13% on the daily. Nice pump out of Zcash. It did break out of the cloud. And that we gave it 436 all the way up to 500. And congratulations that anyone took that Zcash trade. Is it going to hang? You know what? Maybe it will. Last time Bitcoin went sideways, Zcash did go on a run yet again. Zcash bounced off of Fibonacci, so it's holding a key level. I'd look for the 1 hour to flag and stay inside that bigger daily trade that I gave. So that call stone cold right there at 436. And a nice pump for Zcash. Congrats to anyone that jumped on in and took the call. Zcash still holding gains pretty nicely all the way back to 500. that's a beautiful move. So, bang, Zcash for gains. Not amazing. Let's see what the gains, not amazing, 436, But 14% in a market like this, that ain't bad. So, and I don't give a lot of trades during this time on altcoins because there's only like 5 or 6 that I really put my trust in that I think would like make me look good if I even, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, looks. Shout out to anyone that jumped into Zcash though. And it's nice to see some green on a Saturday. Does that mean all coins are changing? Is it all, are we getting a huge pump? You'd always look at ETHBTC here and Sol BTC and maybe even, but you'd like to see ETH Bitcoin pump, but it seems to be holding above the trend line that it made there, but it still seems head and shouldery. Still has like a descending type of triangle here. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Does look a bit eerie that it just doesn't, that looks like a complex head and shoulder that's going to go down more. So, was the silver candle just catching up to the China market? You could speculate about anything you want, right? I just look at the charts and, you'll figure out as things are moving. Wow, Serum Labs, SRM gets a move for 237% out of nowhere. You can't kick yourself for missing stuff like this. It's just like, you can't explain why. It could have been, I don't even want to say why because I don't want to be associated with any keywords because you don't know though. You don't know exactly what could or could not have happened there. Super high risk if you look for this to pump more, but dang, that is crazy, right? And it did it like 20 minutes. Everything else is kind of way too speculative for me. Crypto bubbles, CCD, rave, nothing really crazy here on the hour, on the day, gas, Cato. Funny. Advantis still doing a little thing here and there. Let's take a look at Advantis. I'm just really surprised Advantis didn't take off. It had this button to buy right directly to Coinbase, and I figured like it was going to be like the baby of Coinbase and get the move. But it didn't like that. That speculation did not pan out. Advantis. Let's take a look here. I haven't looked at it in a long time since we traded it that weekend and left it alone. Got above the 4-hour 200 moving average. That's a nice pump. Went from 17 cents to 38. I look for Advantis to flag out now. So yeah, all coins look somewhat interesting when they get above their 4-hour 200 moving average. Look, we saw that descending, said it was going to dump. That played out exactly. Amazing, right? And look, you don't touch. Everyone's like, oh, remember when I do a TA on something and I'm like, I'll get in if it gets above the 4-hour 200. Yeah, fine. 17 cents. If you want to like 100x and hold it for months, fine. But I'm just trying to swing trade the good parts and leave the rest alone. So we go to like 64 cents breakout. Again, this could easily just start dumping in 2 seconds right down in Nowheresville. But if it goes sideways, the 21 pulls up, I get this kind of preemptive golden cross. There's a chance we are at 64 cents. It's worth watching compared to the rest of the market. It's on this little bit of an uptrend. It dumped for a long time when no one really paid attention to it. Right? Does that mean ASTER and AVNT tend to move together? Yeah, see, ASTER's way away from its 4-hour 200 moving average. It's making an Adam and Eve double bottom, though, which is an interesting concept there. Could get back to the 200. Let's see how the 1 hour looks. It's battling the 1-hour 200. That's the first thing you'll do. You know, first you'll get above the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, right? Then that 1 hour. Then you're going for the 4-hour and so on and so forth. Shout out to Samuel for the 10 pound. Thank you so much. God bless you. And let's take a look at the fan funding. You people are amazing. Thank you so much. Hey, Sam, can you look at NVIDIA? Bullish div on the weekly, falling wedge, daily breakout into possible ascending triangle on the daily. Shout out to Echoes of Empire. Let's take a look, man. Bitcoin Cash looks good. So let's look at Bitcoin Cash and NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA first. NVIDIA Corporation. Why is it GetTex? Like, what is that? On the NASDAQ. So the last time I put it out, you could see my fun little drawings. I guess I was looking for a bounce here for NVIDIA in consolidation. You know, I said either it loses this level, does a retest and bounces down here. But I said I look for it to bounce. I said they're going to print so much money in the S&P. People are going to have to put money into the market again. I say this is probably a tighter consolidation too when I look at it now. But that's the only thing that may have slightly changed from the last time. I probably talked about it, December 8th, something like that. So look, I was correct with, I guess you kids, I didn't say exactly what to do. But I speculated that the S&P was going to bounce. And so was the NASDAQ. And if that's going to happen, how is NVIDIA not going to bounce? Because it's like one of the biggest stocks in the NASDAQ. So, things that's just a common sense thought process, right? Now, shoulder, head, possible right shoulder there as you come into this resistance at 195. You see that? Like it may be making a right shoulder. There's a chance it could decouple from the NASDAQ on its own, but I do see some type of sideways price action. I'm looking for a little more push up. The next week is going to be big. You want to make sure that you don't get a move back down. If the next 2-3 days next week of trading, you're starting to move back down, then you're making a right shoulder. You got to take that into account. If you start to flag out, come through here, and then, we want to see is nice, tight price action. And it might take a while. Like this thing might not break out till April or May and go on its next leg. Because it just has so much money in it now. It's going to take a lot of money to get it up to its, if it wants to get to 280. I think it can do it, though. The tech is there. They're moving forward. They seem to have kind of a lot of the market cornered. But hey, that right shoulder's looming. So would I buy NVIDIA right now? I don't know. I think it's high risk at the present moment. It is above the 200. The 21 touches the 4-hour. It's more of a buy. I know as crazy as that sounds, but that's how I operate. All right. Okay. Funny, what was that? That doesn't even exist anymore. That just came up. It's so funny. That was what I joined when I was a kid, like 5 years ago, Signal Profits, but it doesn't even exist anymore. It's weird. It's like an old, I wonder why that comes up. So weird. It's like an old cookie. So funny. No, because I don't want anything I've ever, if you go there, I don't even think it works anymore. But that's like 7 years ago or something. I joined that for 6 months, and it worked. But then every time I got a signal, the guy would I would buy as early as I can. And there would still be a percentage. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't want to it's it's crazy. But yeah, I don't condone or advertise that at all. Let's look at the fear and greed index today. Should be back below 20. The bounce is back up now from 20 to 23. Interesting. All I know is the markets are very confusing at the best times to buy. And they feel like they're going to go down really bad. And everyone talks about the end is near and it never feels good and it's always about to drop really bad and it's the beginning of the bearish times. And this will be in like the 9s and the 10s and the 11s. And we had that. And I felt like if that's not a bottom, I'll be very surprised. That's all I can say. I can't tell you what to do. But what I can tell you is what I've seen in the past. If that wasn't a bottom that we saw at like 74, at 80, 78, 9, 79,000. And maybe we retest again. I don't know, but we're kind of lingering here at this 80, 87, 89, 90,000 area. And we hit, we'd have to come back down to a 10 and 11 one more time. And then I'd be like, okay, let's buy more. That's like the real signal to buy is when this is at 10 and 11 for me. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. But whenever this gets down to 10 and 11, oh my goodness, the reality show that is my life starts to open up and we buy that BTC. I've been doing it for years. It's paid off. Hope it doesn't go down the wrong way. Peter Schiff making me feel like doom and gloom, telling me I should sell all my Bitcoin and get out while I can. Sell to the next fool that believes it's worth something, To me, the fact that it can be moved around from country to country, borderless, permissionless, is its value. And, the fact that people can be involved in the world economy with it without having to have a bank account is its value. So the fact that there's going to be Bitcoin banks opening up, the fact that more and more people are buying it, the fact that even today, Metaplanet pledged to buy more Bitcoin, Peter Saylor will buy more. To me, it's just the beginning of BTC. It's just the beginning. I don't know if it's going to go as high, as fast as other people say. I think that's a bit of a myth. I think it's going to take a lot longer to get to some key levels. But that doesn't mean it's not going to continue its beautiful trajectory since I've been in Bitcoin for the last almost 10 years now. So there we have it. That's kind of where I stand with BTC. There's the NVDA update. Let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash. Last time I looked at it, it was just beautifully inside of literally a giant bull flag. And it's up from when we last looked at an entry, which is at about 540, and it's at 614 now. And I just see it getting tighter and tighter, getting ready for a bigger breakout. For whatever reason, this hasn't really been susceptible to the dump that Bitcoin's been going through. And you can see it's in a beautiful inverted head and shoulder, tight ascending triangle. Still a buy to me at 614. It looks really nice. Might have to come back down to the bottom of the pattern one more time. Possibly we can get it back at 520, 540, but I like Bitcoin Cash in the long term here, and it's been showing strength. And there's really nothing you can say. It's taken forever. It's not like it's paying you overnight. It's definitely a patient trade. Like the time to buy even was like December 1st, or so it's been a month almost, and we're just trucking along here with Bitcoin Cash. And yeah. Moon soon. Crypto is done. If you want some gain, short it before it goes down to zero, somebody said. Wow. I'm in a big three, feel a bit overexposed, but hanging on for a bounce and some real gains. Okay. Yeah, Weeks has changed the way they trade with a draggable stop loss now. Very similar to Pionex, got themselves moving and grooving. So shout out to Weeks for improving the user experience. I'm telling you, every exchange wants to make money, right? They're here to get money, right? Up and down, liquidations, let's not be. But of all the exchanges out there, Weeks does the most for the customer, really cares about the customer, goes out of their way because, the chief operations officer guy and the people that help run it and the people that I know there and Andy, they're like you. They were customers not so long ago. They understand the process. They're traders too. They understand the workmanship of what it is to be a trader, and they really realize that we need tools every day to make it, more, better for us to be, they want to help us win. Feels like the other exchanges are against you. Weeks is with you, man. They want to we got to win. We could trade longer and make them more money if we don't get liquidated. You get liquidated one time, fine, they get some money. But if you trade profitably for a year or two straight, right? And you're able to stay in the game. I mean, I think that's how they really make money. So if I can teach people how to trade, form a good relationship, I mean, we have ourselves something beautiful there. And people can trade responsibly with proper risk management. And, it's a win-win for everyone. So, yeah, I like Bitcoin Cash. Looks interesting to me. Shout out to Weeks with the new experience. We'll be showing that off in the next few days as we start to do more live trading. But today's kind of a tight day, 87.4 for Bitcoin. If you're just jumping on in, BTC, to me, just looking more bearish than bullish. To me, the daily's in either this symmetrical triangle here that could break down, or going to make a bigger symmetrical. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see any, like, it's not like, oh my gosh. Slight higher low. You could say beautiful double bottom put in, but I don't know. And then you really want to see is what we're looking at here on the 4 hour, how it looks like a descending triangle there. See? Sorry. And it looks like it's going to fill out the end and dump. And then even the 1 hour looks like it's in a bear flag right now. And there was even an Adam and Eve on that. So there was just, just bearish in general. And then I also said I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just rips all the way back to the upside because of this. You know what I mean? It's just, so if it breaks above the 5-minute 200 moving average and you see the 21 catch and you see it get back above 87.7, like there's a pump there all the way back up to 89. You never know, right? It could happen, but I'm either seeing sideways or slow bleed down. Not much else for Bitcoin. So for now, things could change, but that's what I see right now. So that's my Bitcoin update. I'm going to jump out and rest my voice for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to have class at 9 a.m. Can't wait to see you. So if you're jumped on into class, can't wait to see you. Don't worry about I'm in good shape. I feel great. No stress. So God bless everybody. I will see you all in class or tonight, some point at 9 p.m. I'll jump on in there. So God bless everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you tonight. Thank you so much. Stay strong. Stay amazing. I'll see you later.